ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Namaskar, my dear friends. I am making this video on Inspired Talks by Swami Vivekananda. This is the 7th video. I have already made 6 videos on Inspired Talks by Swami Vivekananda at Thousand Island Park. So it starts with the pranas are subtle energies, sources of motion. There are 10 in all, 5 inward and 5 outward. Bhakti, he means here love which is not yet whole souled. There are few bhaktas who love God for God's sake. Most of them love Him for His omnipotence, wherewith He can fulfill their desires for things other than Himself. So one gets current flow upwards and the other downwards. Pranayama is controlling the pranas through breathing. Breath is fuel, prana is the steam, and body is the engine. Pranayama has 3 parts: Purka in breathing, Kumbhaka holding the breath, Rejka out breathing. The Guru is the conveyance in which the spiritual influence is brought to you. Anyone can teach, but the spirit must be passed on by the Guru to the Shishya, disciple, and that will fructify. The relation between Shishyas is that of brotherhood, and this is actually accepted by law in India. The Guru passes the thought power, the mantram that he has received from those before him, and nothing can be done without a Guru. In fact, great danger ensues. Usually without a Guru, these yoga practices lead to lust. But with one this seldom happens. Each ishtam has a mantram. The ishtam is the ideal peculiar to the particular worshipper. The mantram is the external word to express it. Constant repetition of the word helps to fix the ideal firmly in the mind. This method of worship prevails among religious devotees all over India. Tuesday, July 23rd, Bhagavad Gita, Karma Yoga. To attain liberation through work, join yourself to work but without desire, looking for no result. Such work leads to knowledge, which in turn brings emancipation. To give up work before you know lead to misery. Work done for the self gives no bondage, neither desire pleasure nor fear pain from work. It is the mind and body that work, not I. Tell yourself this unceasingly and realize it. Try not to know that you work. Do all as a sacrifice or offering to the Lord. Be in the world but not of it. Like the lotus leaf whose roots are in the mud but which remains always pure. Let your love go to all, whatever they do to you. A blind man cannot see color, so how can we see evil except it is in us? We compare what we see outside with what we find in ourselves and pronounce judgment accordingly. If we are pure, we cannot see impurity. It may exist but not for us. See only God in every man, woman and child. See it by the Antarjyotis, inner light, and seeing that we can see not else. Do not want this world, because what you desire you get. Seek the Lord and the Lord only. The more power there is, the more bondage, the more fear. How much more afraid and miserable are we than the ant? Get out of it all and come to the Lord. Seek the signs of the maker and not that of the made. I am the doer and the deed. He who can stem the tide of lust and anger is great yogi. Only by practice and non-attachment can we conquer mind. Our Hindu ancestors sat down and thought on God and morality, and so have we brains to use for the same ends. But in the rush of trying to get gain, we are likely to lose them again. The body has in itself a certain power of curing itself, and many things can rouse this curative power into action, such as mental conditions or medicine or exercise, etc. As long as we are disturbed by physical conditions, so long we need the help of physical agencies. Not until we have got rid of bondage to the nerves can we disregard them. There is unconscious mind, but it is below consciousness, which is just one part of the human organism. Philosophy is guesswork about the mind. Religion is based upon sense contact, upon seeing the only basis of knowledge. What comes in contact with the superconscious mind is fact. Aptas are those who have sensed religion. The proof is that if you follow their method, you too will see. Each science requires its own particular method and instruments. An astronomer cannot show you the rings of Saturn by the aid of all the pots and pans in the kitchen. He needs a telescope. So to see the great facts of religion, the method of those who have already seen must be followed. The greater the science, the more varied the means of studying it. Before we came into the world, God provided the means to get out. So all we have to do is to find the means. But do not find our methods. Look only for realization and choose the best method you can find to suit you. Eat the mangoes and let the rest quarrel over the basket. See Christ, then you will be a Christian. All else is talk. The less talking, the better. The message makes the messenger. The Lord makes the temple, not vice versa. Learn until the glory of the Lord shines through your face as it shone through the face of Savetketu. Gas against gas makes fight, but talk of what you have seen and no human heart can resist it. Paul was converted against his will by realization. Tuesday afternoon, after dinner, there was a short conversation in the course of which the Swami said, "Delusion creates delusion. Delusion creates itself and destroys itself, such is Maya. All knowledge, so-called, being based on Maya, is a vicious circle, and in time that very knowledge destroys itself. Let go the rope. Delusion cannot touch the Atma. When we lay hold of the rope, identify ourselves with Maya, she has power over us. Let go of it. Be the witness only. Then you can admire the picture of the universe undisturbed." Wednesday, July 24th. The powers acquired by the practice of yoga are not obstacles for the yogi who is perfect, but are apt to be so for the beginner through the wonder and pleasure excited by their exercise. See, these are the powers which mark success in the practice, and they may be produced by various means, such as the repetition of a mantram, by yogic practice, meditation, fasting, or even by the use of herbs and drugs. The yogi who has conquered all interest in the powers acquired and who renounces all virtue arising from his actions comes into the cloud of virtue, name of one of the states of samadhi, and radiates holiness as a cloud rains water. Meditation is on a series of objects. Concentration is on one object. Mind is cognized by the Atma, but it is not self-illuminated. The Atma cannot be the cause of anything. How can it be? How can the Purusha join itself to Prakriti, nature? It doesn't. It is only illusively thought to do so. Learn to help without pitying or feeling that there is any misery. Learn to be the same to enemy and to friend. Then, when you can do that and no longer have any desires, the goal is attained. Cut down the banyan tree of desire with the axe of non-attachment and it will vanish utterly. It is all illusion. He from whom blight and delusion have fallen, he who has conquered the evils of association, he alone is azad, free. To love anyone personally is bondage. Love all alike, then all desire fall off. Time, the eater of everything, comes and all has to go. Why try to improve the earth, to paint the butterfly? It all has to go at last. Do not be mere white mice in a treadmill, working always and never accomplishing anything. Every desire is fraught with evil, whether the desire itself be good or evil. It is like a dog jumping for a piece of meat which is ever receding from his reach and dying a dog's death at last. Do not be like that. Cut off all desire. Paramatmam as ruling Maya is Ishvara. Paramatmam as under Maya is Jivatma. Maya is the sum total of manifestation and will utterly vanish. Tree nature is Maya. It is really God nature which we see under the veil of Maya. The why of anything is in Maya. To ask why Maya came is a useless question because the answer can never be given in Maya and beyond Maya who will ask it. Evil creates why not? Why? The evil. And it is evil that asks why. Illusion destroys illusion. Reason itself, being based upon contradiction, is a circle and has to kill itself. Sense perception is an inference, and yet all inference comes from perception. Ignorance reflecting the light of God is seen, but by itself it is zero. The cloud would not appear except as the sunlight falls on it. There were 4 travelers who came to a high wall. The first one climbed with difficulty to the top and without looking back jumped over. The second clambered up the wall, looked over and with a shout of delight disappeared. The third in his turn climbed to the top, looked where his companions had gone, laughed with joy and followed them. But the fourth one came back to tell what had happened to his fellow travelers. The sign to us that there is something beyond is the laugh that rings back from those great ones who have plunged from Maya's wall. Separating ourselves from the Absolute and attributing certain qualities to it gives us Ishvara. It is the reality of the universe as seen through our mind. Personal devil is misery of the world seen through minds of the superstitious. Thursday, July 25th, Patanjali's Yoga Aphorisms. Things may be done, caused to be done, or approved of, and the effect upon us is nearly equal. Complete continence gives great intellectual and spiritual power. The brahmacharin must be sexually pure in thought, word and deed. Lose regard for the body, get rid of the consciousness of it so far as possible. Asana posture must be steady and pleasant, and constant practice identifying the mind with the infinite will bring this about. Continual attention to one object is contemplation. When a stone is thrown into still water, many circles are made, each distinct but all interacting. So with our minds, only in us the action is unconscious, while with the yogi it is conscious. We are spiders in a web, and yoga practice will enable us, like the spider, to pass along any strand of the web we please. Non-yogis are bound to the particular spot where they are. To injure another creates bondage and hides the truth. Negative virtues are not enough. We have to conquer Maya, and then she will follow us. We only deserve things when they have ceased to bind us. When the bondage ceases, really and truly all things come to us. Only those who want nothing are masters of nature. Take refuge in some soul who has already broken his bondage, and in time he will free you through his mercy. Higher still is to take refuge in the Lord Ishvara, but it is the most difficult. Only once in a century can one find who has really done it. Feel nothing, know nothing, do nothing, have nothing, give up all to God and say utterly, Thy will be done. We only dream this bondage. Wake up and let it go. Take refuge in God. Only so can we cross the desert of Maya. Let go thy hold. Sannyasin bold say, Om Tat Sat Om. It is our privilege to be allowed to be charitable, for only so can we grow. The poor man suffers that we may be helped. Let the giver kneel down and give thanks. Let the receiver stand up and permit. See the Lord back of every being and give to him. When we cease to see evil, the world must end for us. Since to rid us of that mistake is its only object. To think there is any imperfection creates it. Thoughts of strength and perfection alone can cure it. Do what good you can, some evil will inhere in it. But do all without regard to personal result. Give up all results to the Lord, then neither good nor evil will affect you. Doing work is not religion, but work done rightly leads to freedom. In reality, all pity is darkness, because whom to pity? Can you pity God, and is there anything else? Thank God for giving you this world as a moral gymnasium to help your development. But never imagine you can help the world. Be grateful to him who curses you, for he gives you a mirror to show what cursing is. Also a chance to practice self-restraint, so bless him and be glad. Without exercise, power cannot come out. Without the mirror, we cannot see ourselves. Unchaste imagination is as bad as unchaste action. Controlled desire leads to the highest result. Transform the sexual energy into spiritual energy, but do not emasculate, because that is throwing away the power. The stronger this force, the more can be done with it. Only a powerful current of water can do hydraulic mining. What we need today is to know that there is a God and that we can see and feel him here and now. A Chicago professor says, take care of this world, God will take care of the next. What nonsense! If we can take care of this world, what need of a gratuitous Lord to take care of the other? Friday, July 26th. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Love all things only through and for the self. Yajnavalkya said to Maitreyi, his wife, through the Atma we know all things. The Atma can never be the object of knowledge, nor can the knower be known. He who knows he is the Atma. He is a law unto himself. He knows he is the universe and its creator. Perpetual old myths in the form of allegories and giving them undue importance fosters superstition and is really weakness. Truth must have no compromise. Teach truth and make no apology for any superstition. Neither drag truth down to the level of the listener. Saturday, July 27th. Kathopanishad. Learn not the truth of the self save from one who has realized it. In all others it is mere talk. Realization is beyond virtue and vice, beyond future and past, beyond all the pairs of opposites. The stainless one sees the self and an eternal calm comes in the soul. Talking, arguing and reading books, the highest flights of the intellect, the Vedas themselves, all these cannot give knowledge of the self. In us are the two, the God soul and the man soul. The sages know that the latter is but the shadow, that the former is the only real sun. Unless we join the mind with the senses, we get no report from eyes, nose, ears, etc. The external organs are used by the power of the mind. Do not let the senses go outside and then you can get rid of body and the external world. This very X which we see here as an external world, the departed see as heaven or hell according to their own mental states. Here and hereafter are two dreams and latter modelled on the former. Get rid of both. All is omnipresent. All is now. Nature, body and mind go to death, not we. We never go nor come. The man, Swami Vivekananda, is in nature, is born and dies. But the self which we see as Swami Vivekananda is never born and never dies. It is the eternal and unchangeable reality. The power of the mind is the same, whether we divide it into 5 senses or whether we see only one. A blind man says everything has a distinct echo, so I clap my hands and get that echo and then I can tell everything that is around me. So in a fog the blind man could safely lead the seeing man. Fog or darkness makes no difference to him. Control the mind, cut off the senses, then you are a yogi. After that all the rest will come. Refuse to hear, to see, to smell, to taste. Take away the mental power from the external organs. You continually do it unconsciously. As when your mind is absorbed, so you can learn to do it consciously. The mind can put the senses where it pleases. Get rid of the fundamental superstition that we are obliged to act through the body. We are not. Go into your own room and get the Upanishads out of your own self. You are the greatest book that ever was or ever will be, the infinite depository of all that is. Until the inner teacher opens, all outside teaching is in vain. It must lead to the opening of the book of the heart to have any value. The will is the still small voice, the real ruler who says do and do not. It has done all that binds us. The ignorant will lead to bondage, the knowing wills can free us. The will can be made strong in thousands of ways. Every way is kind of yoga, but the systemized yoga accomplishes the work more quickly. Bhakti, karma, raja and jnana yoga get over the ground more effectively. Put on all powers, philosophy, work, prayer, meditation, crowd, all sail but on all head of steam and reach the goal. The sooner the better. Baptism is external purification, symbolizing the internal. It is of Buddhist origin. The Eucharist is a survival of a very ancient custom of savage tribes. They sometimes killed their great chiefs and ate their flesh in order to obtain in themselves the qualities that made their leader great. They believed that in such a way the characteristics that made the chief brave and wise would become theirs and make the whole tribe brave and wise instead of only one man. Human sacrifice was also a Jewish idea and one that clung to them despite many characteristics from Jehovah. Jesus was gentle and loving, but to fit him into Jewish beliefs, the idea of a human sacrifice in the form of atonement or as a human scapegoat had to come in. This cruel idea made Christianity depart from the teachings of Jesus himself and develop a spirit of persecution and bloodshed. Say it is my nature, never say it is my duty to do anything whatever. Truth alone triumphs, not untruth. Stand upon truth and you have got God. From the earliest times in India, the Brahmin caste have held themselves beyond all law. They claim to be gods. They are poor, but their weakness is that they seek power. Here are about 60 millions of people who are good and moral and hold no property, and they are what they are because from their birth they are taught that they are above law, above punishment. They feel themselves to be twice born, to be sons of God. Sunday, July 28th, Avdhuta Gita or Song of the Purified by Dattatreya. All knowledge depends upon calmness of mind. He who has filled the universe, he who is self in self, how shall I salute him? To know the Atma as my nature is both knowledge and realization. I am He, therefore is not the least doubt of it. No thought, no word, no deed creates a bondage for me. I am beyond the senses, I am knowledge and bliss. There is neither existence nor non-existence, all is Atma, sake of all ideas of relativity. Dattatreya was a sage, the son of Atri and Ansuya, and was an incarnation of Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. Sake of all the superstitions, let caste and birth and devas and all else vanish. Why talk of being and becoming? Give up talking of dualism and Advaitism. When were you two that you talk of two or one? The universe is this Holy One and He alone. Talk not of yoga to make you pure. You are pure by your very nature. None can teach you. Men like him who wrote this song are what keep religion alive. They have actually realized they care for nothing, feel nothing done to the body, care not for heat and cold or danger or anything. They sit still and enjoy the bliss of Atma while red hot coats burn their hair body and they feel them not. When the threefold bondage of knower, knowledge and known ceases, there is Atma. Where the delusion of bondage and freedom ceases, there the Atma is. What if you have controlled the mind? What if you have not? What if you have money? What if you have not? You are the Atma, ever pure. Say, I am the Atma. No bondage ever came near me. I am the changeless sky. Clouds of belief may pass over me, but they do not touch me. Burn virtue, burn wise, freedom is baby talk. I am that immortal knowledge. I am that purity. No one was ever bound. None was ever free. There is none but me. I am the infinite and ever free. Talk not to me. What can change me? The essence of knowledge. Who can teach? Who can be taught? Through argument, through philosophy into the ditch. Only slaves sees slaves. The delusion, the impure impurity, place, time, causation are all delusions. It is your disease that you think you are bound and will be free. You are the unchangeable, talk not. Sit down and let all things melt away. They are but dreams. There is no differentiation, no distinction. It is all superstition. Therefore be silent and know what you are. I am the essence of bliss. Follow no ideal. You are all there is. Fear not, you are the essence of existence. Be at peace. Do not disturb yourself. You never were in bondage. You never were virtuous or sinful. Get rid of all these delusions and be at peace. Whom to worship? Who worships? All is the Atma. To speak, to think is superstition. Repeat over and over, I am Atma, I am Atma. Let everything else go. Monday, July 29th. We sometimes indicate a thing by describing its surroundings. When we say Sat Chitananda, existence, knowledge, bliss, we are merely indicating the source of an indescribable beyond. Not even can we say is about it, for that too is relative. Any imagination, any concept is in vain. Niti, niti. Not this is all that can be said, for even to think is to limit and so to lose. The senses cheat you day and night. Vendetta. Vedanta found that out ages ago. Modern science is just discovering the same fact. A picture has only length and breadth, and the painter copies nature in her cheating by artificially giving the appearance of depth. No two people see the same world. The highest knowledge will show you that there is no motion, no change in anything, that the very idea of it is all Maya. Study nature as a whole, that is, study motion. Mind and body are not our real self. Both belong to nature, but eventually we can know the ding and sick. When mind and body being transcended, all that they conceive goes. When you cease utterly to know and see the world, then you realize Atma. The superseding of relative knowledge is what we want. There is no infinite mind or infinite knowledge, because both mind and knowledge are limited. We are now seeing through a veil. Then we reach the X, which is the reality of all our knowledge, of our knowing. If we look at a picture through a pinhole in a cardboard, we get an utterly mistaken notion. Yet what we see is really the picture. As we enlarge the whole, we get a clearer and clearer idea. Out of the reality, we manufacture the different views in conformity with our mistaken perceptions of name and form. When we throw away the cardboard, we see the same picture, but we see it as it is. We put in all the attributes, all the errors, the picture itself is unaltered thereby. That is because Atma is the reality of all. All we see is Atma, but not as we see it as name and form. They are all in our veil in Maya. They are like spots in the object glass of a telescope, yet it is the light of the sun that shows us the spots. We cloud not even see the illusion save from the background of reality, which is Brahma. Swami Vivekananda is just the speck on the object glass. I am Atma, real, unchangeable, and that reality alone enables me to see Swami Vivekananda. Atma is the essence of every hallucination, but the sun is never identified with the spots on the glass, it only shows them to us. Our actions, as they are, evil or good, increase or decrease the spots, but they never affect the God within us. Perfectly cleanse the mind of spots, and instantly we see I and my Father are one. We first perceive, then reason later. We must have this perception as a fact, and it is called a religion realization. No matter if one never heard of creed or prophet or book, let him get this realization and he needs no more. Cleanse the mind, this is all of religion, and until we ourselves clear of the spots, we cannot see the reality as it is. The baby sees no sin, he has not yet the measure of it in himself. Get rid of the defects within yourself and you will not be able to see any without. A baby sees robbery done and it means nothing to him. Once you find the hidden object in a puzzle picture, you see it ever more. So when once you are free and stainless, you see only freedom and purity in the world around. That moment all the knots of the hearts are cut asunder, all crooked places are made straight, and this world vanishes as a dream. And when we awake, we wonder how we ever came to dream such trash. So I end this video here. Thank you, my dear friends, for watching this video with patience. Please like, comment and share the video and subscribe my channel. Thank you, my dear friends. Namaskar, namaskar, namaskar.